new site. We have this kind of new thing of discovering new calculators we're really excited about. I think right now people use MD Calc when they know what you're looking for, but we've realized a lot of people don't know how to learn about new calculators, right? How do you discover a new calculator? So we've created this new way to discover calculators where you can write pulmonary embolism and diagnosis. And it tells you all the calculators and one-liners on the calculators. And then after you diagnose PE, you can say, all right, now I need to prognosticate PE, so PE plus prognosis. There's the PESI rule score and a bunch of other scores that help you figure out what to do with that patient with PE. We also had a bunch of experts come along and write little bits on how to use the calculator better. Have you guys seen this stuff yet on the site? So it's been below on the pages for a while, but we wanted to build it up across all the calculators. We have 250 calculators now, so it's kind of a crazy amount of work. But now it's up above. When to use it, where to use it best. So this allows you, after you know the name of the calculator, if you're not 100% sure on how to use it, how to apply it, how to do next steps, interviews with the people who wrote it. So we get a lot of their input too. I wanted to talk about what makes a rule good. This will be my last piece. You guys know the subarachnoid rule? Rule out subarachnoid. MRAP's about to do a piece of it. And the Canadian CT head rule. Do you guys use this one? All right. They're both super sensitive. But what makes the subarachnoid rule not as good? Yeah, it's the specificity, basically meaning what?
Age over 40 is like, most of our patients are over 40.
Right. So it's hard to make these rules really good, right? Like and the issue between these two is that there's not that many people you can apply it to, right? What's the issue with the Canadian CT head rule? Do you guys?
The major and the minor. The criteria.
Do you guys know the difference between the major and minor criteria?
Once the minor is the story, it's dangerous mechanisms.
Those are the other inputs. Do you guys know when to use the minor versus the major? So I think it's a confusing rule. I don't think people understand it well. I think even more than that, people are scared to apply it because there's what I think is a misperception that patients want CAT scans. Do you guys see this? People who you know are Canadian CT head negative get the CAT scan anyway. Has anyone ever done that in this room? Don't lie to me. Yeah. And so my experience with some of these rules is that the rule is totally successful, and where we fail is as a physician in communicating with our patients and knowing how to communicate with our patients, that it's safe not to get a certain workup. So these things are great, but they have their limitations, and some of those limitations are beyond the score. It's how to apply the score. Anyway, that's all. Any other questions?
I have a question in regards to, as first or second year as being an attending, being a residency, say you're like during debt, and that whole loan forgiveness thing is going by the wayside. As far as like with extra money, should you focus more on repaying loan debt, or should you keep putting some money away for retirements, or should it just be all focused on repaying your loan? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, and I would do both.
Okay.
And that book I recommend, it talks about that actually.
Oh.
It talks about doing both. So what I do is automatically my employer puts all this money into my retirement account. Separate from that, I have a rule that my bank account just puts money into my investment account automatically before I even see it the day I get paid. And then what you can also do is have a rule that automatically takes a chunk and pays off the loan. So before you even know how to go down the hedonic treadmill, it's gone. Set that rule up from day one, right? And as was mentioned by one of your attendings, I would really focus on paying off your principal. You guys are paying high interest on this. Pay that off in the first year as much as you can. But also get in the habit of saving. That was a very non-answer to your question. So one more thing I wanted to mention. I think emergency medicine, I think doctors are the leaders in healthcare, and I think emergency medicine doctors in academic programs where we learn how to think differently and challenge what was them done, are really the leaders in healthcare today and tomorrow. And I mention this because this week, we're gonna have a new president come in, and there's a very high chance the healthcare industry is gonna change, and there's a decent chance it's gonna change severely. And so, it is the leaders of healthcare, and that's us. It's our right and it's our responsibility to do what we can to protect healthcare, and most importantly, protect our patients from whatever negative changes that are likely coming down. We have to work individually, we have to work together to do that. And I think we also have to realize that anytime there is any change, as bad as it may be, change means there's opportunities to do things better. So we also have to find ways, not just to protect our patients and our industry, but to think about how we can make our industry better, despite whatever might happen in the next year. Anyway, thanks guys.